back in the early pro days and amateur days and stuff. So look to do good this weekend.
Jeremiah Jones, not the only rider that kind of favors this race course, and it's kind of funny, it's really the only pure sand race course we've got on the circuit. As the gate drops and qualifier number 1 is off and rolling, and look at this, it's the number 16 of Jeremy Lawson from Battletown, Kentucky. He's got company though, the 199 of Pat Brown right behind him, looks like Spader, and also the number 2 of Jeremiah Jones on that Yoshimura Suzuki. Talked to him just before this qualifier, and again, we don't expect to see him out here on days like this, but it could be to his advantage here this weekend in Georgia as he is trying to get the bugs worked out of that new bike. It's not problems necessarily the bike is having, but he is having problems with crazy things that are taking place here in the early part of the season. We'll see if he's able to shake that. And of course, out here in the qualifiers, if you're wondering why do we have the qualifiers, where's John Natale and those guys? Well, the riders that are seated in the top 10, that is riders in the top 10 of the points heading into each individual round, do not have to qualify on Saturday. But we do take those top 10 and they are guaranteed a place on the gate for Sunday's motos. And then we have to kind of divvy up the last 10 positions. And if there are more than 20 riders that have signed up for the weekend's racing, we've got to have a couple of different divisions of racing. But this way, we're taking the top 7 as we have only one qualifier. The top 7 will transfer, and then we'll have a LCQ a little later on where the top 3 will qualify. And these are like 10 minutes plus 1 lap of racing as we will take a look at the way things are breaking down here in the early part of this qualifying moto on this Saturday afternoon here at Acheconne. It is the number 16 of Jeremy Lawson who's got the lead. It looks like this is a phenomenal ride for him as he is really starting to stretch things out. Still Brown back in the 2nd place position. Battling back for 3rd place, the number 708 of the Bumblebee Harold Goodman, and the number 30 of Travis Spader, then Wimmer in 5th. 6th place Chad Wienen aboard the number 44. In 7th place, your final transfer spot early on in this qualifier, the number 270 of Josh Creamer, and Steve Runkle in 8th. 9th place Jeremiah Jones, and 10th place the 101 of Rocco Arno. But all eyes, and I do mean all eyes, are on the number 16 of Jeremy Lawson here today, because he is putting together the best ride he's had so far in this 2006 season. As we head into round number 4 here, Jeremy Lawson opening up a huge lead over some of the formidable greats, including the Bumblebee Harold Goodman, the 199 of Pat Brown, and Travis Spader, some of the big names that he is walking off and leaving. Right now, Pat Brown is still holding on to the 2nd place position on board that Yamaha, and he's running those ITV tires as this is the ITV Boost Racing ATV National Motocross Series. Here's the battle back for 3rd, and it looks like the Spader is overtaking Goodman now. So Spader moves up to 3rd. Goodman will drop off to the 4th place position, but Goodman doesn't look like he's ready to relinquish that just yet, as he is continuing to try to mount some sort of a challenge from back there in the 4th place position. Through the whoop section now, the deep sandy whoops are going to get deeper and deeper here at Acheconne in this very sandy terrain. As you can see, Pat Brown is still back there, but he is not much of a threat. Look at those acceleration bumps and those braking bumps heading into that turn, and the different choices of lines there. Lawson goes to the inside, to the outside goes Brown, there goes Spader to the inside also. Goodman follows suit right behind him in the 4th place spot, but it doesn't have a lot of effect on what's taking place out there. If anything was gained or lost, it was microseconds, and these riders are not really feeling the effects out of that particular section of the race course just yet anyway. Whoa, Brown out of shape, in trouble, and off the track and back onto it as he does make his way back onto the race course in the first possible safe spot there. But look at this, Brown looks like a kicker bump just basically shot him into that berm there, and then whenever that happened, it kicked him back around again, and it was all he could do to hang on to that. He shot over the berm, and we take a good look at that through our ITP replay there. Looks like those ITP tires got a little bit too much traction there that time around. But again, through the pit area, Jeremy Lawson with the lead. He's getting the pit board, and I know that his pit crew is extremely stoked right now. Look at this. Looks like Brown may be starting to feel some pressure from back in 3rd and 4th. The Spader's been pushed behind him. The number 708 of Goodman still in the hunt. And Wimmer, the number 191, rounding out that top 5. Not much of a change, still back there with Wienen in 6th place and Josh Creamer in 7th as we head late into the moto here. 2nd place rider Pat Brown trying to reel in Jeremy Lawson. Look at the big air he's getting there. But more importantly, I think what Pat Brown is thinking is what is coming up behind him. And that's the experience of the number 30 of Travis Spader, the 708 of Harold the Bumblebee Goodman, just looking for an opportunity to strike and get around this youngster who has been well, not the luckiest of riders this year. And we know that Jeremiah Jones has had his bad luck this year, but so has Pat Brown. We had a chance to talk with him before the race about how things have been going for him this year.
You know, I feel like me and actually Jeremiah's kind of got the same bad bug that I got. We've been, I feel like we've been two of the fastest riders out there, and we've just been having the bad luck. So it's a long season, and everybody gets it sooner or later. And you know, I think we'll straighten it out and get back up front. It's a real motocross race, and it comes down to who's in the best shape here versus you know, just luck other places. So it's a great racetrack.
Well, right now he's got company, and luck may not be the big factor here. It's going to be talent that's going to keep him out in front of the number 30 of Spader there. Spader's been around this motocross racing game for a long time, and he's been on this Acheconne sandy track several times throughout the course of his career, and he's trying to find every opportunity he can to get around the youngster out of Pittstown, New Jersey, as they make their way around. Look at this. We see other riders now starting to move up into the mix. That's the 44 of Chad Weenan now challenging the 708 of Harold Goodman. So we've got a battle, a four-way battle between the likes of the 199 of Brown, the 708 of Goodman, the number 30 of Spader, and now the 44 of Chad Weenan, who moved up from 6th into a 5th place position. And this gives this rider right here all the opportunity to stretch the lead out in the world, and that's the number 16 of Jeremy Lawson. Look at this. It's even getting tighter than a four-way battle. We see the number 191 of Dustin Wimmer now back in the 6th place position, is trying to throw his hat into the ring too to try to challenge the 199 of Brown. The only rider with any comfort whatsoever is your leader, the number 16 of Lawson. And unless he makes a mistake here in his qualifying moto, he is not going to feel any pressure whatsoever, and that is going to be a huge boost of confidence for this youngster heading into Moto 1 racing action on Sunday morning here in Georgia, which could maybe lock him up into the ranks of being one of the contenders here in the 2006 ITV Moose racing season. Pat Brown seems to be stretching things out just a little bit. Chad Weenan now up to a 4th place position, now challenging Spader for 3rd place. So Weenan has now made the pass on Spader and moved into 3rd. Spader trying to strike back through the Sandy Whoop section, but it's not going to be enough as the youngster going to be able to hold him off. Will Goodman be able to get around now for the number 708? As Goodman now also keeping a very close eye on what's taking place just ahead of him. And look at this, the number 2 of Jeremiah Jones up from a 9th place position into a qualifying position here late in the qualifier. He is going to be on the line for Moto number 1 if he can keep things put together here in this qualifier for the remainder of these laps. And it looks like not only is he going to do that, but he's going to try to make a statement here on this Saturday. It doesn't matter how he finishes, he just needs to finish in one of the top positions. But he's trying to make a statement here as he is all over this race course, and it looks like that this sandy, whooped out, rough racetrack is lending its hand to the riding style of Jeremiah Jones as he's able to work his way up through the pack. He's looking behind him and he's staring at the riders in front of him, trying to eyeball them down to figure out how he is going to get around them now. Chad Weenan is the rider next in his sights. Will he be able to pull the trigger and make the pass before the checker flags flies, as he's all the way up to a 4th place and solid qualifying position here in Georgia on this Saturday afternoon of racing. Again, all they got to do is finish in the top 7 here, and they will be guaranteed a spot on the gate. But again, I think it's a statement that Jeremiah Jones is trying to make on board the Yoshimura Suzuki. Let's see if he can get it done here as the youngster Chad Weenan running in the number 3 spot, still ahead of him aboard the 44. Pat Brown still holding on to the 2nd place position, and your leader, the number 16 of Jeremy Lawson. Meanwhile, Jones still knocking on the door, and look at this, it's Weenan who goes to the wayside. Now Jones up to a 3rd place position. Looks like Jones is starting to close in now and try to challenge for 2nd. Will the 199 of Pat Brown be able to keep his luck alive long enough here in Georgia to hold on to at least a 2nd place finish here in this qualifier? No, it does not, as Jones goes underneath and makes the pass, and look at how fast Jones is going in and out of these turns. He has found the magic race line around this race course, and it doesn't even look like that the number 16 of Jeremy Lawson is going to be safe when the checkers fly. He has got to hold a steady pace up front in order to keep that number 1 spot. Meanwhile, the rest of the riders are trying to latch onto the rear bumper of Jeremiah Jones and maybe pull into contention for the lead, but it's Lawson out front. Jones in 2nd, Brown in 3rd, Weenan 4th, Goodman in 5th, 6th place Dustin Wimmer. Travis Spader's dropped back to 7th. Rocco Arner now moves up to an 8th place spot. Creamer in 9th, and Steve Runkle rounds out your top 10. Again, only the top 7 will transfer here, though, and a lot of these riders are going to be coming back for an LCQ later in the afternoon on Saturday to try and make it into one of the top 3 positions that will qualify into the Sunday program. Look at this. Jones into second place now as he gets around the 199 of Pat Brown. And Jeremy Lawson on this final lap is getting the pit board to, hey, do not relax too much because Jeremiah Jones is back there, and as comfortable as a lead you have right now, it is not comfortable enough when Jeremiah Jones is running on the rail that he is here in Georgia this weekend for round number 4. Has Jeremiah Jones worked the bugs out, and is Jeremiah Jones finally going to make his way into the podium overall position finishes after 2 consistent motos? Only time will tell. But in this qualifier, after he finishes a convincing second place position behind that rider right there, Jeremy Lawson, looks like the battle is on here in Acheconne. Taking a look now at our Parts Unlimited results board. Lawson, Jones, Brown, Goodman, and Ween in top 5. 6th and 7th, Wimmer and Spader. And making into the LCQs, Arno, Creamer, and Runkle.
I don't know, it's the first time I ever pulled a hose shot in a pro race. I got this new TLR motor, and I don't know, I was out front. I didn't know what to do. So I just pinned and grinned. That's all I did. I don't know. I just went.
So what do you got for the mains now, man?
You know, hopefully I got a top 5, but right now I'm going out. I'm just gonna kill everybody.
Man, you just look so comfortable and smooth out there in the sand, man. Is this your kind of track?
Not really. Actually, I prefer the hard bike. But Fox Shocks has been working with me, and they got all these. They got the shocks dialed in, so they work. I don't know.